We would like to start the press conference of Minister Kamikawa. Minister, please. Recently, I visited 3 countries that embody African diversity: Madagascar, Cote d'Ivoire, and Nigeria. What has impressed me during the visit is the energy emanating from the cities, particularly smiles on the face of many children and young people. I keenly felt dynamism and potential of Africa and the strong expectation for Japan. And it was pleasantly surprising to see Japanese people, young people, including women, challenging themselves to do new businesses and resolving various issues there. Also, in Africa, connectivity enhancement is a challenge. Therefore, through this visit, I focused on the creation of regional hubs. In 3 countries, I had discussions with people from universities, hospitals, ports, and libraries. And through the discussions, I felt the need to upgrade wonderful many initiatives from individual separate effort to more integrated and expanded efforts. With that in mind, to prepare for the August TCAD ministerial meeting and also TCAD 9 next year, in order to make a preparation concretely, earlier than usual, we are going to set up a TCAD secretariat within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs next week. Going forward through PCAD process, we would like to incorporate dynamisms of African economy into Japan and also to co-create with Africa means to realize African economic growth and peace and stability. Now, regarding TCAT 9, we are now soliciting logo marks from the public. The deadline for solicitation is the Friday, 7th June. So please apply for the logo marks very actively. Thank you. That's all from me. Now, please raise your hand and come to the nearest microphone to ask a question. Please identify yourself and your affiliation. Hokkaido Shimbun, Iwai-san. Imai, Hokkaido. Thank you very much. I have a question regarding Russia. On the 7th, there was an inauguration ceremony. President Putin started his 5th term, and Russia is continuing Ukraine aggression and intensifying confrontation with the West. In order to achieve peace in Ukraine, what is the role to be played by Japan? And also regarding Northern Territory issue, in order to solve this issue, how are you going to reach out to Russia to solve this issue? The former islanders are almost 90 years of age. They don't have much time left. In what way are you going to solve this issue?
First of all, starting from the first point, aggression to Ukraine by Russia is an act of violence revering the foundation of international order. We would like to continue to make sure to achieve the fair and permanent peace in Ukraine as soon as possible by liaising with the international community spearheaded by G7. We would like to continue to address support of Ukraine by being strict to Russia with sanctions. Due to the aggression to Ukraine by Russia, Japan-Russia relations are in very difficult situation. Unfortunately, we are not in a position to make anything material about the peace treaty negotiation, but we would like to continue to make a policy to conclude a peace treaty by resolving Northern Territory issues. The average age of the former resident is now higher. We would like to make utmost effort. Next question is Nishiyama-san from Kyodo News. Nishiyama from Kyodo News. On the same note, to commemorate the 79th year of victory versus Germany, and President Putin has explained that he is prepared to combat in the strategic force. And can you explain the position of MOFA?
Yes. On the 9th of May, there was a military parade on the occasion of the 79th anniversary Victory Day. And in that speech there, President Putin said that Russia's strategic forces are always in combat readiness. That is what I understand. Up to now, it is very concerning that Russia, in the context of Ukraine's aggression, repeatedly indicating the possible use of nuclear weapons. That is extremely concerning. Japan is the only A-bomb victim country, and the threat of nuclear weapon by Russia, and particularly the use thereof, has not should not occur in our view. Japanese position has been conveyed to Russia on every possible opportunity, and we have been appealing this to the international society as well. We are going to continue such an effort going forward as well. Next question, please. NHK 五十嵐さん。五十嵐 NHK. Regarding the Middle Eastern situation, Defense Secretary Austin of the United States clarified that part of the arms shipment has been stopped to Israel. Ammunition has been stopped. And it has clarified its position not to support large-scale ground invasion to Rafah. And to Israeli, it is calling for Israeli to be very restrained.
We would like to reserve our comments to the interaction of the third countries, at any rate, as Japan, as we have been consistent at the G7 foreign ministers meeting. We are opposing to the military operation to Rafah, and we would like to make sure to expect that the environment which will allow for humanitarian support activities will be secured, and to hope that the release of the hostages will be realized and the immediate ceasefire will be expected, and we hope that it will be leading to sustainable ceasefire. Next question, please. Moriguchi-san from Mainichi Shimbun. Moriguchi from Mainichi Shimbun. Prime Minister Kishida will be making adjustment to participate in a summit on peace in Ukraine to be held in Switzerland. What is the significance, and what is the outcome expected?
On the 2nd of this month, Swiss President Mr. Amhelt said that on the 15th and 16th of June, in the Bürgenstock near the Luzern in Switzerland, he will be holding a summit on peace in Ukraine. Who will be participating on behalf of the Japanese government has not been decided as of now. Regarding this summit, it is very significant meeting in order to show that the international community is supporting the Ukraine's effort to realize just and lasting peace in the country. For that purpose, Japan is going to closely coordinate with various countries going forward. Next question, Anadolu Agency. Mershan of Anadolu Agency. I have a question regarding the Middle East. Israel has been launching attacks on the Rafah, and the U.S. announced that it would cut off its weapons if there is any ground attack. Could you explain the latest position of the government of Japan regarding the prevention of Rafah invasion, and also additionally the number of countries establishing diplomatic relations with Palestine is increasing in number? Is the Japanese government planning to take a new step towards recognition of Palestine as a state? Thank you.
The combat is now prolonged, and we are seriously concerned that the humanitarian situation at the sites are becoming even more critical. From our perspective, as we have been consistent at the G7 foreign ministers meeting, we oppose to the full-scale military operation to Rafah, and we hope that the sustainable environment which allows for humanitarian support activities will be secured, and we're expecting for the immediate ceasefire and sustainable ceasefire, achieving the release of the hostages. From the perspective of securing humanitarian access, resumption of Rafah checkpoint will be important, including that we would like to tenaciously and actively work on diplomatic effort to take actions to Israel. Yesterday, to the headquarters of UNRWA in East Jerusalem, there was a destructive activity, and for the time being, it will be closed, according to the media. We are still confirming the details of the facts, but in order to support the Palestinian refugees, UNRWA is fulfilling essential role, and it is not to be tolerated that these destructive activities will be done to UN facilities. There should be need to establish environment to have appropriate mission fulfillment of the UN institutions, and we are hoping that necessary actions will be taken by Israel. For the UN security resolution for Palestine, to fulfill the requirements for the UN session, we are expecting to make sure that there will be a comprehensive decision to be made, and we have agreed to that. But on the other hand, the Palestine to support UN security resolution, and this is also a separate issue that we are going to approve as the state of Palestine. So we would like to continue that there will be bilateral resolution amongst the parties. And for the independent state establishment, we understand the hope of the Palestinians, and we will continue to support the efforts of Palestine. Next question, Kamima-san from Yomiuri Shimbun, Kamiura from Yomiuri Senbun. In relation to the government, in Shizuoka Prefecture, the gubernatorial election will be held. And in the by-election, LDP lost, and this is going to be another major gubernatorial election. What do you think will be critical in this election? And also, what will be your involvement and actions to be taken?
In this press conference, I am speaking as a foreign minister. Therefore, regarding the local elections, I would like to refrain from responding to that kind of question which relates to local elections. Thank you very much. This concludes the press conference. Any more questions? I have a question regarding the remarks made by the U.S. senior person regarding the atomic bombing dropping in Hiroshima and Nagasaki that ended war earlier. And also in the lower house committee this morning, you said you requested a meeting with the U.S. side on this issue. What is your position on this?
For the interaction that you have just pointed out, I'm aware of that. Hiroshima and Nagasaki related statements, we consider they were not appropriate. As the position of Japan against Hiroshima and Nagasaki, atomic bomb have deprived the lives of many people, and this has been quite regrettable from the perspective of humanitarian perspective, as we have been reiterating, use of nuclear weapons do have such tremendous impact, and to the spirit of the humanitarians, it is not consistent to that perspective. So to atomic bombing to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, our position remains consistent, and we have been repeating our position to the United States. So once again, we have conveyed our message once again. And against that, we are the only victim country with atomic bomb, and it had a tremendous damage to mankind. And in the future, it should never be used. And we need to make sure to work with the United States to achieve a nuclear weapon-free world. We have been making such effort. So our basic position is something that we are abiding by to respond to this situation as well. Miyano from Chugoku Shimbun. This is a follow-up question. The other day, the lower house parliamentarian Womberg made a statement, and there was no request from the U.S. side, but with this statement and also Senator Graham's, is there any difference in the response?
Without a long passage of time, we have several remarks regarding the atomic bombing on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in various different contexts, but there have been some constraints. The overall efforts on that part, I think the remarks are made in the speaker's individual context, and also the intent, purport of those remarks are based on their individual sense of problem. I understand. And this time around, the remarks made was made in the official hearing in the United States Congress, particularly this was made in the context of the ending of the Middle East situation, and reference was made to the atomic bomb experience, and as a result, we are aware that this is not something we can accept at all. That is why we made the response vis-a-vis the U.S. government, as you have just mentioned. That's all. This concludes the press conference. Thank you.